Well, this is certainly going to be one of the shorter recap streams, but hello and welcome to RaceWeek for the Friday recap. And today we are going to be recapping basically nothing. A day where there was no track action at all, where both practice sessions were rained off. Now, obviously you need to remind everyone that it wasn't how wet the track was that was the issue. The conditions were perfectly doable when it comes to on-track running. However, the issue was because of the fog, the medical helicopter could not get to its destination, and obviously that is a big issue because obviously if there was a serious accident, then it will take longer than ideal to transport an injured driver to the hospital. So obviously, it being a dangerous sport, they could not take that risk. So the sessions were called off. They obviously will be looking at measures, seeing if they could get they apparently were going to see if they could get the facilities needed for, in the case of a serious accident, to a closer hospital. So if we have the same problem again tomorrow, it's not going to cause the issue that it did today. But we're not talking about the cancellation of the practice session. Obviously, the drivers that will be most disappointed to lose these sessions were Mick Schumacher and Callum Ilott, who were supposed to make their FP1 debuts, and all the hype was there, all the attention was there. Everyone was ready to see how they were going to get on in a Formula 1 practice session. But unfortunately, there was no running, and they obviously could not take part. Now, it probably isn't all bad news for them, though, as I am pretty sure that they will be given an FP1 opportunity in the next few races. Obviously, it probably wouldn't happen in Imola because of their schedule, but maybe in Portugal it could happen. So I don't think it's all bad news for them, and they likely will get their FP1 opportunity in the next few races. But that is obviously... Now, what are the potential other ramifications of the cancellation of Free Practice 1? The big thing is the teams are going to have a lot less data. Now, particularly teams that brought in upgrades will be quite disappointed, because I believe McLaren wanted to do another comparison with both their nose cones, with the two nose cones, and now they've lost that opportunity with the cancellation of the practice session. And I'm pretty sure there are more teams that wanted to test out their upgrades that may not have the chance to. The big thing is, I believe that everything that's on the car come practice 3 needs to stay for the rest of the weekend. So with the teams that are bringing in upgrades, will they take the risk and run them, or will they decide to stick with what they know and save the upgrades till they're tested? That's going to be an interesting decision from those teams that have upgrades. And secondly, with the less running, that means that teams are going to have to do more things on the fly in the next few days. We saw in the 2018 United States Grand Prix where the teams did not have the data that they wanted when it came to tyre strategy, that it made the race quite exciting. And that could possibly happen here this weekend. Even if it's a dry race, this could potentially add more excitement to proceedings now that teams aren't going to have as much data on the dry tyres. as to how long each tyre can go and all that. And also we have seen that is actually the situation, another situation where Mercedes could get derailed. Because the thing about Mercedes is when things are all going to plan, they are unstoppable. But when they have something that goes against protocol, that could potentially derail them. And this sort of thing is one of the things that have derailed them in the past, having to do strategies on the fly. But that is it from the Friday recap. Now, obviously, this is a very short live stream with not much to report on. But hopefully we will see some running tomorrow. I mean, I'm pretty sure there must be some concerns about the rest of the weekend, because if they can't find a contingency plan, then surely the race on Sunday could be threatened. If the medical helicopter can't get in or can't get its destination, what's that going to do to the race? I mean, this wasn't unexpected issues considering Nürburgring in the Eifel Mountains in October was always going to have some issues with the weather. But that is it from the Friday recap. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, visit the RaceWeek site at raceweekblog.com, and also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/raceweek_show. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for the qualifying day recap, where we will hopefully have some track action to look back on. Goodbye.